I need you frightened. I need you hopeless.
Welcome back to the chaos. This is the Reflections of Horror podcast. This is a horror movie podcast for the girls, gays, and non-binary baes. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Kale, and this is the Purge Anarchy episode. We are currently making our way through the whole Purge franchise discography, whatever. So we are on the sequel, came out in 2014.
Again, we felt like it was a
franchise
good one
time.
for the times.
Yes.
We were thinking franchises. You've been floating the Purge for a while, so I think when we got on franchises, you were like, what about the Purge? And I was like, we are seeing the collapse of the United States, so why not?
Why not?
So,
it's timely.
Yeah.
It's timely in its timelessness.
Literally. Again, I kind of just love, I've obviously seen these before. This one takes place in 2023. Mm-hmm. I like that the movies were released a year apart, and the movies themselves, like in their own universe, take place a year apart. Mm-hmm. So I liked that.
I like that too. I wonder what like filming and production for that was like. You know, like
I would imagine you would have to be basically back to back.
Back to back. Yeah, I guess it helps because there's like not really the same cast in this.
Because they just kind of did it with 28 years later.
That's true.
In the interviews, they were taught, because for that franchise, the kid, it sounds like the kid is the only one that goes through both. And they were talking about how hard he had to work for how long.
Yeah, so. No, that makes sense, especially with like kid actors. You need to keep it tight because they just be growing.
This one, though, it would be interesting to like check the credits, because you would think you would film the first one, give it to a batch of people to like edit, and then you would have to get started on the next one. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah,
because it's the same writer director. I think through most of them.
So I don't think I knew that it is the exact same writer for every Purge movie.
Which is
it's his baby. Yeah, I kind of like that.
I like that too, because you don't often see that for like. I think especially like horror franchises, like new names and stuff will pick it up and put their own spin on it. Yeah. But I like that because it's like clear that he had like a vision. He had a place that he was trying to work towards.
I would be curious if he fought to put it in his contract. Or if they really said, you can have this and you can keep it. I don't really know.
Okay, so fun fact, it is a different director for the Forever Purge.
Correct. So there's two different directors. Basically, the Purge about Mexicans, they let a Mexican direct. Okay. And then the Purge about black people, they let a black person direct.
Okay. That's...
And I'm like, I think that's good. Probably a good choice.
Yeah. I think so. Because, like, we're... Especially for, like, the times, I think. Because I think... Well, we're coming into, like, 2020s. So, I don't know. I just feel like you get a lot of stories, like, from... Like, about, like, people of color, but written and directed by white people.
And they get it all wrong, so.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The dynamic between, like, a writer and director is always interesting to me, because I guess you can write something, and then when you hand it to the director, it is really up to the director to do with it as he pleases. So it's like he could have written it however, and that man could have taken it and been like, no, this is how this is actually going to look for this community.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because as we've discussed before, writes and rewrites and drafts and everything else.
That's true. I feel like I would have a hard time with that. I think about that a lot, especially with, like, authors and stuff, too, because it's like, as an author, you don't get to, like, decide your marketing. You don't get to decide what the cover looks like.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, right? And I'm like, but I would have a vision. Yeah. So, unless you're, like, self-published, obviously. Yeah. But then there's, like, a back and forth. But, yeah, I feel like I'd be too much of a control freak over my story to, like, do that. But, I mean, that is to say that I think, like, even publishing a book and then movie making is, like, a collaborative process. Yeah. But... You know how I feel about artists and stuff sometimes, as an artist. Like,
but it also makes sense why, like, the Ryan Cooglers of the world have kind of made their circle. Because you find these collaborative voices where you're like, okay, you actually see me and get me.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Because I realized that when I was trying to get into writing screenplays, and I was getting feedback that was like, you don't write that, you're writing how you would direct this. And I was like, well, yeah, but like the director needs to know my vision. They're like, yeah, that is not how this works.
So how do you write a screenplay then?
Basically straightforward, like, I hate to say bare bones, but it's like you're not gonna go, and then we see da-da-da-da-da. You just kind of have to paint the picture and be done with it.
See, I feel like I would struggle with screenplays. Yeah. I'd be too much, but I'm like, this detail's really particular, really important for the whole rest of the thing. I don't know.
Anyway, we're already off to a hot start. Let's dive in. Okay, so it takes place, the Purge Anarchy takes place a year later. So we're in America 2023. We start out by saying unemployment is below 5%. Crime is virtually non-existent, while every year fewer and fewer people live below the poverty line. All thanks to ... And then we get our title card.
The Purge. I will say that, so it's below 5% in Purge Anarchy. It was lower in the first Purge.
Yeah.
So I'm like...
It was like 1% for the first one.
Yeah, and I'm like, so it has gone, I don't know.
Can
Just
I...
interesting little detail. Yes.
Ask you, what about this one says Anarchy? Why did we get Anarchy?
I don't know, actually. That is a really good question, because I really don't know. It doesn't seem very anarchic to me, you know? Maybe just because they're like, okay, we need to come up with a cool hook for the next one.
Yeah.
And I think it was kind of very much, I don't remember the marketing super well, but it was kind of marketed as like, oh, this is what the Purge looks like in like the inner city or whatever, right? Where it's like, it was marketed with those like the masked, the guy with like the white painted face and the skull face kind of thing. And like, these are like, again, it's kind of this like bait and switch that you see a lot of times in the Purge, where it's like you think the bad guys are going to be these people, but then they're actually someone else, the rich white people. So
always,
every time. So I don't know. I don't know why they called it that.
I think you might be able to be like, well, obviously, I called them the militia group. What's the name of the black group that comes in at the end? That she watches all their videos. I didn't even catch a name.
I didn't either.
So I just referred to them as the militia group. So I don't know if they went that route because that group exists that's trying to go against the Purge, but
even then, like, they're not anarchists.
Yeah, to me, that's still like a stretch because they have just simply armed themselves to stand up for the poor community.
Yeah, exactly. But again, I mean, like, they probably are being, like, we don't really see a lot of like what counter media is talking about with them, but I'm sure they're being painted as like anarchists, like they're challenging our way of life.
They're anti-government because they're fighting back against the Purge would probably be what the spin would be on Fox News.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway,
back to the let's get into like what we're talking about.
We're gonna get there eventually. Sorry guys, we're off to a hot start. So again, March 21st, because we know that's when the Purge goes down. This time it's 4:34 p.m. So we have 2 hours and 26 minutes until the start of the annual Purge. So again, to the comment I made last episode, you will see we always get our timeline.
Yes.
When we start, how far in advance are we of the Purge? Once we get started, how much longer do we need to survive?
Which is helpful.
Yeah.
I think. I like that. I like the little guideposts of like where we're at.
Yeah.
And I think I do like that about these movies too, is that I don't have anything wrong with like super long movies, but I don't think every movie needs to be 2 hours.
Yes, correct.
Especially like these kinds of movies. Like, it's like coming in with a story to tell. It's going to tell it.
Yeah.
And then it's done.
Yeah. And you will learn that by the length of our episodes, perhaps, because we had our shortest episode for the first movie, which was shocking for us. But again, kind of a straightforward situation, exactly. So not much to discuss and dissect. But this one opens in a diner. Mm-hmm, and we kind of just meet these two waitresses, and they're talking about how it's getting late, and she should get going and like get home because they're watching the news talking about Purge traffic warning. Yeah. Which, like, again, to, like, this universe, like, things you're thinking about is, like, everyone needs to get home before the Purge kicks off.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that must be crazy. Also, another thing, so this diner is, they're closing up, like, and I was like, okay, that's one problem I do have. Because I think if you're applying the Purge to, like, our universe, places aren't closing. I don't think they're closing. Like Target, Walmart, fucking all those places, if they can be making money, they still will be making money. They're just gonna hire like extra security or something. Yeah. But I do not see like, because like
you mean even when the Purge kicks off, or are you talking about
no, even when the Purge kicks off. Because I think we live in this world where like the worst things are happening all around us and we still have to go to work. I don't think that changes even when the Purge is happening.
Wow, that is a very good talking point.
Yeah.
And actually makes me hurt on the inside because you might not be wrong.
I think I'm right. And then they would frame it like, right, well, it's like, well, we have extra security, like, don't be dramatic, like, you still have to go to work. You know? But I guess they do frame it in this universe, they frame it as like a holiday.
Yeah.
But even on the holidays that we have now, the holidays are only like all the bank holidays, like even like Labor Day, Juneteenth, those are not for the people who like won those holidays. Those are for the people who work comfy bank jobs.
Yeah. I think my only argument would be so many people lock down for the Purge. Like, everybody locks down for the Purge. So I really don't think people would be out and about picking up groceries.
Yeah, you might be right.
So,
I don't know.
But I do like that concept that corporations like Starbucks and Walmart suck so fucking bad.
Yeah, or like Amazon, like the Purge Amazon, like, you know, they still have those workers in they have those workers still in the warehouse.
Gotta make those quotas for the next day.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's gonna be buying stuff. There's probably Purge sales too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So I think
in the diner.
Yes, and I think it is worth noting. So the 3 individuals working in the diner are Hispanic. Mm-hmm. And then we see that the owner is a white woman. Mm-hmm. Again, just kind of like already starting the play on race. And they're saying, well, she should cut us early anyway. Like, what is she waiting on type of thing. Mm-hmm. So one of the men offers to give one of the waitresses a ride. And she says, no, thanks, I'll walk. Mm-hmm. And then makes her way out.
Yeah. He gives kind of a weird comment, too. He gave me weird vibes.
Yes.
Which I think is also like very realistic for the universe.
Yeah.
Because it's like all crime is legal.
Yeah. All types.
All types.
Which I'm glad we don't really go there, but
I am too. Yeah. I will give like the writer director's credit, is that that wasn't his focus.
We didn't need to.
In the way that like we see in so many horror movies, that like they really do play up like the like SA horror, right? For like shock factor and stuff. It's like, it could have been a lot worse in this franchise. Yeah. And it wasn't. Yeah. So, thank you.
Yeah. And I will say, so this movie is going to do a lot of bouncing back and forth, because in the beginning, we're experiencing 3 separate timelines of 3 separate groups of characters that will eventually converge out on Purge night. So, we bounce from the waitresses to then we're basically just in an apartment with a buff white man with a lot of guns. He's clearly getting armed, as if you're like, okay, he's participating. Yeah. We get the longing close-up on a photo of him and a young boy, so we know something happened. Some sort of focus on the young boy is going to come into play.
He has a tragic backstory. Yes. Oh, Frank Grillo. I just was looking at the Wikipedia, so this is the only way that I know his character name, which is Leo, I guess, but he's just Frank Grillo to me, so.
You might hear me refer to him as the Sergeant.
Okay.
Whatever I was reading had him credited as the Sergeant.
Yeah, I guess it's because I knew he was like some kind of like, he obviously has like military training or something, clearly. But they never really like was
Get
like,
into
this is his backstory. He's just like, we need his character to be able to kill people, so we're gonna make him former military. Yeah. And I do think that is almost like that's a funny trope, I feel like, because like it's just easy, I guess. Yeah. It's an easy way out. And
absolutely.
And it's like it's not a trope that I have any problems with, but it is like this is your archetype. I see you.
Yeah. And then we're into our 3rd timeline with a white couple, and they're in the car and they're discussing traffic, and we're watching people like board up their houses, and it's kind of this weird dynamic at first, because like he's in the passenger seat and has an iPad and is like scrolling photos of them, and they're like kind of bickering, and then we're seeing people put out blue flowers, so it's like this back and forth, and then you just know there's tension between them, but it never really gets anywhere yet.
Yeah.
And then we see so actually what I was referring to last episode was this is the one where we see a news alert of a man saying he was elected 9 years ago and started the Purge as a solution for human problems, crime.
Yeah, something. Scapegoating. And again, his name is Donald Talbot.
My favorite.
Which is crazy. But yeah, he's an old white man. Got elected 9 years ago. So, the Purge, I think, was instituted 2016, 2017, which, again, is, just the way it lines up with, the real world. Yeah. It's, crazy.
Wild.
Actually wild. Because, again, this came out in 2014. This is before even the golden escalator kind of situation, right? Yeah. So, it's, I don't know. It's just, I'm saying this director has, some kind of oracle working back with him.
This is, my favorite bit of media is when media is created and then, we're consuming it in the future and you're like, God damn, this hits close to home. That's the best part of media for me if it plays out like that.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite movies is Contagion.
Yeah. All-time fave now, especially.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I watched that. I think I watched that in the year 2020. And I was like, whoa. Because, again, I think that came out, 2013.
Yeah.
So.
It was definitely far pre-COVID.
Yeah, very, very pre-COVID. Yeah. And it was just you're watching that and you're like, whoa, how did that happen?
And then, so we skip from the couple, and then we're back with the waitress, and she's walking home. And I kind of like this, because, again, to your point of setting up this universe, she's walking home and there's basically two guys on the street corner trying to hustle money to provide protective services for the Purge. Yeah. And I was like, we've been talking about the capitalism of it, how the rich people are spending their money. There would definitely be an angle in
absolutely
poor neighborhoods in what that protection or that security service looks like, you know?
Yeah, and then the, arms dealing, and then, even just, little things. I'm sure there's, a ton of room for, grifters being this is some way to, make you immune to the Purge or whatever. Yeah. There's so many different ways you can play it, because there's so much potential there.
Yeah. And then we get our first jump scare when she bumps into a drunken neighbor. And immediately I was like, oh, we're gonna see him later.
Yeah.
Because he's drunk and he's kind of flirting and he's like, you want me to come up with you and protect you tonight? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, we're gonna see you again, Grossy.
Yeah, Grossy.
Because he's sweaty, and especially later when he shows up, he's hairy chest all out and nasty ass teeth.
His teeth.
I do love that bit of horror where there is always the one character where to really make them disgusting, you just make their teeth fucked up.
Yeah. It's an easy out. It's an easy way to do it. But he is gross. But so she's going upstairs. I don't think we have another cut yet. We're kind of
still
following.
with him, yeah,
we're following the waitress as she goes upstairs and is locking down. And so she has a daughter.
Yes.
And then also her father is living with her.
Yeah.
And there's this kind of implication that her dad's sick.
Yeah.
And is supposed to be taking this medication, but the medication, he says, doesn't do anything anyway. And he's just really kind of grouchy, crabby old man. And he's yeah, so because they start arguing about the medicine, but before that, we do see the daughter and the grandpa watching our first video of, I will be referring to them as the militia group, just because I don't know, I did not catch a name. Oh, his name is Carmelos?
Yeah, but that's the only reference. I didn't ever catch a name for the actual
for the group.
Yeah, no. So I will refer to them as the militia, but they're basically watching this black man speak on a website, and he's just touching on the fact that the Purge is motivated to basically wipe out non-white individuals and to keep the population down and kill off the poor. So again, to what we've been saying is as these movies go, the role of race and the role of classes definitely gets larger and larger, which I think is 100% accurate to how it would go.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know who's not participating in the purge? Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Or Elon Musk.
Or maybe they are, but just in a...
they're not at risk.
They're not at risk.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in like a minute, actually, on like on how rich people purge.
Yeah.
But no, for sure, and I love that. Especially, I'm really excited to dive back into the first purge. Yeah. Because like that is the introduction of like how they tested this, how they kind of cultivated all of it, and all this stuff. It's so accurate and interesting. Anyway, the militia is led by Carmelo, and he gives very like Black Panther adjacent vibes, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, so the daughter is watching this. The grandpa is like kind of like they're all just saying words kind of thing. He's just like everyone else. They're just saying words and not doing anything.
Well, and then they talk about locking up, and then the waitress is talking about like making dinner, and then the grandpa is basically like, you know what, I just kind of want to go to bed and I want to sleep through the night and like not participate in this. And then I definitely caught like he definitely kind of makes this point of like, I love you. Like, to me... Oh, yeah. The way he goes about this, like, I love you, good night, I was like, I thought he was gonna commit suicide. Was where my brain went. Because I was like, he doesn't want to be a burden on this night for an extra body to be protected. Was where my head went.
Okay, interesting. But... Yeah, I could see that. He was definitely giving, like, a very, like... goodbye speech vibes. Yeah. I don't think when I first watched it, really kind of made any conclusions or anything of like what was happening. But I probably was not expecting where it was
going. Yeah, I didn't either. But so then basically the daughter asks the mom basically like how did the conversation go with your boss about getting a raise?
Yes.
And it didn't go well.
I don't think she didn't get to the point of having a conversation. But yeah, she's like, but I like helped you, I coached you, kind of thing. So yeah, they're like, it's like very apparent that they're like kind of struggling financially. Yeah, and it's like working a waitress job. I don't really know how old the daughter is, so I don't know if she works.
She's giving teenage, maybe early college, but I think that's a stretch.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then we cut, and then we're back with the white couple that was in the car, and. Kind of to your point, though, they're grocery shopping 2 hours before the purge.
That's what I'm saying.
So you might be right that like those organizations might stay open till 7 p.m. or probably like 8 p.m. and then send everybody out. Good luck getting home in the purge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
you're
trying to make as much money as possible before maybe you have to lock down. But like, you're not sending people home early. Like, if you have to take the bus, good luck.
It would probably be a day, too, where, like, you would go to get gas, and gas would be, like, $4 higher.
Oh, yeah, the price gouging would be crazy. Yeah. It'd be and then, like, and then, like, probably water bottles would be price gouged, too. Yeah. And it would probably be, like, a situation, too, like, just, like, Thanksgiving, right? Like, it's, like, the grocery stores are a nightmare to go in any span of hours before the day before a holiday, because everybody waits until last minute, right? With no, like, consideration for the workers that have to deal with that. And then, maybe you get that day off or you get to get off early, but then it's just, that's what I'm saying. It would be...
You had a point. All right, we made it back around. So they're grocery shopping, and then she finally says, I really want to tell your sister. Yes. So I'm like, okay, so they're getting divorced. And
I thought for a second, I was like, is it like a baby? Like, I still was just like not really following what they were bickering about. I was like, what? But eventually they do explicitly say it, that they're like, that we need to tell your sister that we're separating.
Yeah, because I mean, she's being very argumentative. He's being very sad. So I'm like, okay, clearly she wants a divorce. He is still holding on to hope. And then boom, we get a jump scare because he's like standing next to the car and just gets fucking shouldered by a guy that's clearly participating in the purge later because he's got like face paint on, hoods up. and you're just like, Jesus Christ. And then
skateboarding around. I do like the vibe of these guys though. Like they're scary, right? Yeah. But they're also cool. I like a good skateboarder. It's fun. Well,
and again though, to the like setting the vibe of the Purge, like it's a slow motion shot where it's like slow-mo of him skating away, and then you get like a little bit of like, I refer to this group as like the gang, because they are a gang hunting them down. It's a gang of young men that, again, that their plot line also was unexpected. Yeah. So I think, again, kudos to the writing of this universe, because I think it's done well, because it's a good premise in general, but you could successfully make really boring movies in this premise.
Oh, for sure.
But I think he winds these timelines in a way where you're like, oh, didn't think that's where this is going.
Yeah, it does a good job of like kind of subverting expectations in a way that's not cheap, which I like.
Yeah. Well, again, it touches on that point of motivations and just determining factors of like, not everybody is going to be out killing. People are going to have their reasons and their motivations for what they're doing and how they're doing it. So then we bounce back to the sergeant. Again, I call him, what's his name? Frank Grillo?
Frank Grillo.
I'm going to call him the sergeant or Frank. So we're back with Frank. He's putting on a bulletproof vest, and then a woman knocks on the door. There are photos on the wall of a man that you later find out it's the news articles of what happened to his son.
His son, who was in the other photos. Yeah. So we're like picking the pieces.
It's a photo of a man that he's gonna go hunt, basically, because the woman at the door is basically like, you don't have to do it. It's not gonna make you feel better.
Yeah. So we kind of get the implication of like, this is ex-wife, maybe.
Yeah, because he says, go to your new husband and your new family.
Your new family, and he's clearly very bitter and heartbroken. Poor.
And she says, stay safe.
Yeah, which is like a tagline.
The running tagline.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing that you say to people.
It's the thing you say when you're poor and you're trying to survive, basically.
Well, I think that in the first movie, they kind of said, like, the neighbors said maybe that, too, as they were driving by. They're like, stay safe.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I'd be like, good luck, bitches.
Don't die.
Yeah. So then we're back in the apartment, and the daughter is watching another video online of the man just talking. We see Grandpa. He has dressed up really nice. He's in a suit. And he leaves a note on the pillow. And I forget where the women go that he successfully sneaks out of the apartment without being noticed. Probably the shower or something.
I think the mom was in the shower, and
the daughter was like in her room watching the videos.
Yeah, and then he leaves before they lock down.
And he's getting into a car.
He's getting into a limousine
that was clearly sent to pick him up. Has a driver. Driver is white, so you're going, uh-oh, okay, now what is this? Yes. So, then we're back in the car with our arguing white couple, and again, the wife is like, we're separating, people need to know about it, whatever. And then to me, it sounds like a tire blows, but he's like, the power steering has gone out.
Yeah, and then so power steering, the car's just like all messed up, right? Yeah. Pulls over. They can't get it to start. They look under the car, and there is like fluid leaking. So I'm thinking maybe
we're not even there yet.
We're not even there yet.
So this is where our time. I feel like
time keeps skipping. There's lots.
The cutting between our timelines becomes a bit more jagged.
Yes. Yeah.
Because then we're back with Frank in a car that looks like it's got bulletproof armor all over it. It's a souped up car.
It's cool. It's like a Charger kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I like Chargers.
Very bro status. Yeah. I don't think I would choose a Dodge Charger for my Purge car, but rock on.
What would you pick for your Purge car?
Oh, like a fucking Ford Bronco or like a Hummer.
Yeah, Hummer would be good.
Yeah. I would still want my bulletproof armor.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Even though it doesn't work very well for him. But
so you're going for more bulk and less like speed.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not gonna have a Purge vehicle. We do need to discuss this, how we would Purge, because I think I would stay home.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely stay home too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're with him. We hear on the radio that now we're 45 minutes till the purge starts.
Clock is ticking.
Yeah, so then we're back with the women in the apartment. They're putting wood beams to lock up the front door. Then we're back with the white couple. They were both on the phone trying to get help. A car speeds by that's like, absolutely the fuck not. I'm not stopping 45 minutes to purge to help you guys out. And then he notices the fuel line has been cut. And then they're like on like
an overpass.
like an overpass, like a bridge. And then it kind of looks up and then we see the gang.
Yes. They're driving like a white box truck kind of thing.
It's giving like ice cream truck vibes.
Yeah,
but it's all white, but like that's the shape of it.
Yeah. I will say, because they're trying to get a ride. They're like, we don't really give a fuck about the car. Like, we just need to ride home.
Yeah.
And I was like, what would Uber rates be on the purge? Like, that's a $500 ride right then. Oh. Like, the surge pricing for that would be crazy.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that a lot. I hate that a lot.
Yeah.
You could do that, though. That would be, like, a good, like, a short you could put on YouTube of, like, somebody who feels like they have to work Uber the night of the purge because they have a financial obligation and they can make $500 a ride or something.
Yeah. But then it's like the risk, like, you never know if someone's just ordering an Uber to kill you, and you never know. And then also, like, taking an Uber, you never know if that Uber driver is just gonna kill you also.
I love where your head is at for this episode. You're really running with this. I'm enjoying this. So they see the gang and then they just decide to run because, I mean, you don't have another option.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can't stay in the car. They're gonna get you. Yeah. So. I always do, like, I would be the kind of person that, like, I'm staying by my car as long as possible, I think. Because, like, because it just, whenever you're in those kind of things, because I don't want to be out in the open, I just want to blissfully hope that maybe my car will start.
I just think the day of the purge, I'm not leaving my house.
Smart. Get all your grocery shopping done before that.
I am putting in my PTO request 6 months in advance. I am not going anywhere the day of the purge.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's smart. I think
What's the fucking point?
What is the point? Because then you're just going to get in situations like these where you're stranded and you're fucked.
Yeah. Anyway. So again, we're still kind of moving pretty quick, bouncing between timelines because we're back in the apartment with the women and they're watching the Purge emergency broadcast. We're with
Purge time.
We're with Frank in the car listening to the radio, and then we see this awful cut of the white couple running through deserted downtown as the sirens are going off.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh, you guys are fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I do think it's like interesting too that like so much of the purge is focused on like it says any and all crime is legal, right? And with the exception of like you can't kill these certain like political figures, right? And I'm like, okay, so like why aren't people like robbing banks or like where's all the financial crime? You know, where's all the stuff that like why is it all murder? And then I'm like, okay, so what is the propaganda doing, right? To make you think that your best bet to commit any crime is just to go like kill other people, right? So like all the things that are at work there, because like what's to say you can't just go and rob a bank, right? Like, and then I guess probably the banks are like, well, they probably have like crazy security systems and stuff too. But I mean, you can just go buy some C4.
Your workaround would be get a job at a bank, stay past closing, and then just pop the safe open.
Yeah. And then you have a ton of money, and then you can buy better security. I don't know. I just think, because I guess that like storytelling wise, it's more interesting to do like murder and stuff, and like the anarchy of like everybody is just bloodthirsty and kills but then I think again to like the propaganda of like it's focused on violent crime to purge your souls, right? Like less to better yourself, but more to like purge this like the violence in your soul so you're cleansed.
You're purging a natural part of you is I think what they're trying to get at. not trying to fix your poverty to get out of the purge.
Yeah.
But it's a good point. It's a good point. I would imagine if the purge did actually exist, there would be a subset of purge night that, like, people would be trying to loot Best Buy and like fucking Foot Locker and then selling shoes on the internet. I just think that would probably be part of it.
I'm teaching myself how to hack, and I'm hacking banks and stuff. Like, I'm transferring millions of dollars into my bank account. That's what I'm doing on Purge Night. I am teaching myself how to hack, and I am stealing money.
You make a very valid point. So sirens are going off, and now we get our scene that we're setting the scene of Purge Night. Mm-hmm. So you've got this white man on top of a roof with a sniper rifle and a 6-pack of beer. Yeah. Which I'm like, is there anything that's more American?
Yeah, really though.
And then it's just like these cut shots of like people roaming the streets and a school bus full of armed men, and then you see our first glimpse of this semi-truck that is driving around with a man in the back with, like, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a massive...
It's like a Gatling gun.
Yeah, I guess that is what you would call it. Yeah. I'm like, it's just this massive automatic rifle that's just shooting out casings. With an American flag hat, aviator sunglasses, and an apron.
And an apron, yeah. You know what he's credited as? Like, what his character name is?
Oh, God.
Big Daddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you catch it on the radio. One of them goes, Daddy, we found him. And I was like, oh, they called him Daddy. Gross.
Yeah, it is gross. But yeah, definitely setting the scene for like this is what people are doing tonight.
Yeah, and then
again, it is like I can't appreciate like the vibe setting that it does for this, right? It's like very like in universe. It's like it's crazy, and it's just interesting.
Yeah. Frank's driving around in his car and seeing a car on fire. This seems like kind of funny to me because like there's a car on fire and people are shooting the car up, and Frank's like, yeah, no, I'm good, and like pops a Yui and like turns around, and then I think they also do that to set the scene of like he turns around and drives backwards, and then we see the sign for downtown. So now you know Frank is headed downtown. We know at least the white couple is downtown.
But Frank is obviously like a man on the mission.
A mission, yes.
He has a purpose, and he is trying to stick to it.
Yeah. And then we just get a cut. Again, the white couple is still out on the streets looking for a place to hide.
They try to hide in a dumpster, but there's already a body in there. And I'm like, was that a good idea? Like, if I was stuck downtown, where would I be trying to hide?
12 hours in a dumpster? No. There's no way.
No way? No way. I feel like my chances to survive would be better hiding in a dumpster than trying to run anywhere.
Well, I mean, I would be running with the hope of breaking into some place and, like, barricading myself in somewhere.
I feel like my chances are better with a dumpster.
I would be like, Kale, we are not getting in a fucking dumpster. Get out. So yeah, and then we see they're being stalked by the gang. And then we are back in the apartment with the women. And they're setting up for dinner. And the girl goes to get Grandpa and discovers he's gone.
Yes.
And she's reading the note that he left, and we discover he signed up to be a martyr for a wealthy white family that will pay the girls $100,000.
Yep.
And we get the cut of him in their house. It's just so gross. Like, you get a cut of the outside of the house, and it's massive, and then they're on the inside, and they have, like, Dextered the house, so there's, like, plastic sheeting, and it's just, like, this wholesome American family all dressed up nice with their machetes.
Yeah, they're doing their little prayer,
and he's, like, just seated in a chair.
Yeah, it is very unsettling. It's really, this is some of my like favorite aspects of it, right? Of like showing like this is what Musk and Bezos are doing. They're ordering people to their house. They're door dashing purge victims in limos, you know?
Oh, shit.
Like, And, like, that's just, I think it's so interesting. And also, like, knowing, I mean, you look at that house, you look at these people, $100,000 for a human life is not that much.
Yeah, no.
Not that much. And, like, that is what he, like, sold himself for in order to better the life of his daughter and his granddaughter.
Yeah, and I'm just like, if I'm his age, I see my daughter struggling so bad to afford my medicine that I feel like isn't even helping. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. It's and it just I don't know, I had a point to make and I lost it, but it's just the purchasing of people is so especially crazy to me.
Yeah.
And then also, I remember what I was gonna say now. What's the guarantee those fucking rich people are paying up anyway? You're dead. How can you check? You know?
Also
your daughter and your granddaughter didn't see any kind of contract. They have no guarantee that they're going to see any of that money.
I mean, I would probably try to get a contract.
Yeah. But how is that going to be enforced? Who's going to enforce it?
True.
Yeah. You know? What's the legality of enforcing that?
You'd probably have purge lawyers for these types of contracts.
Yeah, that's true. But then you have to pay for a purge lawyer.
True.
And you bet your ass those retainers are crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But then we get this like kind of heartbreaking interaction where obviously like the daughter is really upset and the mom is just explaining like this is how the wealthy purge. They purchase poor and sick individuals to kill in the safety of their own home. And then they're trying, like, even just the logistics of, like, this happening, you're absorbing the fact that your grandfather and or father has just signed up to be a martyr and is definitely going to be dead by the end of the night. And then, boom, you hear a noise outside, and there is, like, a group of men that look like some type of army. They come pouring out of the semi-truck, so you know the semi-truck is involved. They're, like, guys in, like, all black facades, helmets,
masked, armed individuals,
yeah,
unidentified.
And the best part is you're trying to absorb that, and then shotgun blasts go through your front door, and it's actually the drunk neighbor that is there to cause a ruckus first, on top of the army coming up your apartment steps.
Yeah, so again, it's like they did in the first one. Like, there's lots of different things happening at the same time that it's like, it's very well conducted chaos for storytelling, I think.
And then it's like, we get a slight reprieve because then we pop to the white couple who's still just kind of running through the streets trying to get away from this gang. And then we're back in the apartment with this nasty ass man.
Yeah.
He's got fucked up teeth. He's got a big hairy chest. His shirt's unbuttoned. I'm like, you are the grossest individual. And
again, they're good at their casting.
Yeah, yes. And I mean, I think to your point earlier, to me, he kind of hints here that he's probably going to essay them both and then kill them. But we never get there. He just like grossly like licks the side of her face.
But yeah, it is definitely the implications there are there and strong, but we don't have to like witness it. And then he gets shot. He gets obliterated.
Blown away by the army, which I love.
Yeah.
Could not love more.
Yeah.
But this is when we find out that the guy's name is Daddy, because the army people find them in the closet, and he goes, Daddy, we've found... I feel like I have to say it that way. Daddy, we've found 2 of your personal purge. We're bringing them out now. And then we basically just see the chaos in the apartment complex of just, like, these army personnel. Like, there's dead bodies everywhere, and you, like... They're both getting dragged out, and we're just, like... We're seeing it from a vantage point of, like, the women looking through the apartment complex, I felt like, because you're looking into doorways.
Yeah.
Where you're seeing kind of everything under the sun, between people being blown away, people also being carried out, so...
Yeah, I don't know. I just do think that the masked individuals, unidentified, who are just kidnapping people, again, is, like, a pretty timely visual for right now.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy that's where we're at in life these days.
And then this is where our 3 timelines converge, which again, I think this is done so well because the women are being dragged out. We cut to Frank, who's in the car. He comes across the semi-truck. We're now seeing from Frank's perspective the two women just getting absolutely thrown out into the street.
Yeah.
All these soldiers are around. He sees into the truck and sees Daddy with the gun.
Yeah.
And he kind of has this moment where he's like, just keep driving. Just fucking keep driving. And then it's like, he just kind of sees two helpless women.
Yep.
I think the soldiers, like, put him on their knees so you know what's coming. And he's like, I'm not going to keep driving.
Yeah.
Basically. So he, like, parks the car and then just fucking handles business.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure does. I put in my notes for that. I was like, Frank Grillo's skulking around, pretending he doesn't want to be a hero.
But again, the way they kind of, like, choreograph this scene, so to speak, because, like, he parks the car, he gets out, and then we get with the white couple who comes upon the car to hide behind it, and the husband is at least intelligent enough to check the door handle, and then now you know they're in Frank's car, and then we go back to Frank.
Yes.
And he's obviously highly armed, so he basically takes down, like, 5 soldiers, and then shoots into the semi-truck.
Yeah.
You think he's killed him because he goes down.
Yeah, he's down.
And then, of course, sulking Frank has this moment where he has cleared it out, so the women are safe to go. He goes to walk away.
Yeah.
Stops again, and then turns around, and all he gives is a nod.
Yeah.
Like, you can come with me, girls.
Yeah. I'm very reluctant hero. I want you to know. I'm very reluctant about this.
Exactly.
And I do love that. I like his character arc. Like, he makes an appearance in, or he's a main character in Election Year.
Yeah.
So I like his, like, kind of like the sweeping arc of his character is pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going back to, he's bringing the women back to the car, and discovers that there's 2 strangers in the backseat of his car, and is like, immediately, like, on hostile mode, like, get out or I will fucking shoot you.
But, like, the Purge is also kind of entertaining because, like, looking at that white couple, I would be like, you're unarmed and you're clearly hiding here. So great, I have 2 more. But he, like, immediately gets hostile. But, I mean, I guess the Purge would do that to you. But, like, it's just, like, read the room, silly people.
I don't know, adrenaline is crazy.
But, so he starts screaming at them to get out. And then in that, while they're screaming at one another, either the daughter or the mom is basically like, guys. And then we see that
Big Daddy's back.
Big Daddy is not dead. He's just been, like, shot in the ear or the cheek.
Yeah.
And then basically gets up and goes to, like, shoot up the car.
Yeah, and I will say, one of my other comments was, that I wrote down that I thought was really funny, is that he's a horrible shot. Like,
yeah.
He's, like, actually a really terrible shot with that crazy machine gun.
Literally.
It's crazy.
I can't
Like, couldn't even get tires. Like, didn't...
Into the windshield?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Terrible shot.
Yeah.
Spend all this money for what? You suck.
Because he's having his own good time, even if he does suck.
Yeah, and he really does suck.
So they get moving again. They drive off, but then the car starts smoking and then breaks down eventually. He checks the engine. Bullets did, again, it looked like it was bulletproof. Clearly was not. Because, like, his engine is pierced. So we see a pop-up that says 7 hours left in the Purge. So, again, we're starting our timeline. We got 7 hours to go. He gives a gun to, I said each couple, because it's, like, the mom and the daughter and then the couple itself.
Which I love that scene so much, where he just, like, pops his trunk and has so many, so many guns for, like, just one person, and still so many guns for this amount of people. And I was just like, it's actually so funny how American.
Yeah.
It's just like, here. And then they're like, that's what you're doing. You're just giving us guns.
He's
and
like,
he's like, yeah, you guys are on your own.
Yeah.
Here's some guns. Good luck. And they're like, but wait, you can't leave us.
Yeah. Well, and then the mom plays the correct card of, I know you need a car. And she's like, hey, I have a friend that lives nearby. If you can get us there, you can have her car. And he's like, call her. So she calls, has a conversation. So then they set out to make it It's like a couple blocks is what she tries to claim.
Yeah. We learned that it feels like a lot more than a couple blocks in the movie universe.
Yeah,
it's like they're running for a while before they get to this apartment.
I mean, on Purge night, it's never going to be easy.
That's true. Moving around.
Navigating downtown streets.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
The first person we come across, I feel like several purges into this, I could be that woman on the rooftop.
I was also thinking that. Well, I was like, so it's this lady, and she's like pacing around on this roof with like a machine gun and just like,
and a bullhorn.
Just like yelling. I don't even know what she was yelling, like nonsense.
It's just like founding fathers bullshit, basically.
Like, pretty much. But I was like, this lady pacing around on the roof is actually a huge mood.
Yeah. Just shooting her machine gun into the air. I'm like, I can feel this. Yeah, and then we kind of have a lot going on, because like we see a man running and trying to get away from what we see as the gang from earlier. Mm-hmm. And then the fucking husband, man. Frank like wants to go in a certain direction, and then the husband's like, no, if we go this way it'll be quicker, and steps off the curb into a purge trap, I guess you would call it, because it basically hooks his ankle and then pulls him down the gutter. And it's like, I don't know, again, to like your conversation of this universe and how people work, it's like the concept of like living downtown and being like, I can put a trap out in this gutter, and then if it's gonna hold someone there, and then I can just pop my window open and shoot him from here. Yeah. Because that's what happens. A window, like, opens up, and then Frank has to shoot into the window. Yeah. And then there's, like, a guy that comes down a fire escape that Frank has to take out, too. It's like it was like a trap that was set that clearly 6 people were lying in wait to just kill the person in the trap.
Which is, like, crazy, because it also, like, because, again, like, what are these people doing for the rest of the year? They're probably all thinking about the Purge, right?
I mean, I wonder if you would, like, so I'll use the example. So obviously Halloween's the end of October. Yes. It filming this, we're in July. Like come early August, I have to start planning my Halloween decorations. Yeah. Do you handle it that way? Like 3 to 4 months in advance, gotta start doing my purge traps.
Probably, yeah. Like there's blueprints, there's planning, they got stuff in their Amazon cart.
Oh my god. Oh my god, do you think they would do, instead of like a Prime Day, they would do a purge day?
Oh. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And then there'd be like post-purge, there'd probably be like clearance sales so you can get for the next purge. Like 50% off machine guns.
I bought last year's trap and they're going to work perfect for me next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Oh, God. So like, again, this is very chaotic because people are like jumping out. Frank has to handle them. He keeps screaming at the husband to just shoot the trap so he can get out. Mm-hmm. He finally shoots it. They get out, and then we get a pop-up that says we're now at 6 hours left. Yeah. And then what's the head of the militia group?
Carmelo.
Carmelo we see him pop up as if he has hacked. It's like a big screen that was running. Yeah, like what I would say is like founding fathers propaganda, purge bullshit. He has hacked that, and then he comes in, basically just talking about fighting back. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
My comment here was, Carmelo is cool, and I like him a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think if I was going to participate in anything, I think I would join a group like that.
Oh yeah.
I would hope that we would make like a lesbian group.
Oh yeah, for sure. That'd be great. I would be hunting down all the rapists, probably.
We would need to think up of a name. I would want it to be like close to like Dykes on Bikes, but it would need to be I would have to
we got to brainstorm.
Yeah,
this.
we got to brainstorm this. Yeah. We got 3 more episodes to come up with it. So
we're going to get our purge sonas.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know what our propaganda
I just want to write purge fan fiction now. Like, there's just so much potential. Yeah, I think it's so fun.
Go off.
Yeah. So they're Carmelo pops up and they're headed back. They're just kind of walking down the street again.
Yes. We see a stockbroker strung up outside a building, which, like, I think you would get some of that.
Oh, yeah. I love that. Because it said, there was, like, I can't remember what the note said on him. But
something about, like, basically the fact that stockbroker, like, tanked people's investment.
Yeah,
accounts.
Like, took their retirement and everything. And, yeah, that's what I put. I was like, that's what I would do on Purge night. I'd kill the billionaires. But again, they're probably heavily protected, so they would be hard to hunt down.
I do think if I had a situation like Frank's in my life, I think I might go on a Frank warpath.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I could fall victim to that.
Yeah, like for sure. Like if there's someone that, like, I don't know, killed someone or messed up someone that I love, for sure, I could see myself doing that too. But I think, like, if I didn't have that, if I'm just, like, you know, kind of existing as I am now, Why
would I go out of the house?
Well, that too, but I was like, I don't know, I think I'd be looking for some billionaires. Yeah. But they got their bunkers, so it'd be hard.
Yeah,
I would have to plan.
I would not go after the billionaires. I don't think you're going to pull that one off. But you would probably come up with a plan and then come to me with this and pitch me on strategy. It, and then I would be like,
okay, all
right, you're actually kind of close with this. I might join you. All of a sudden, our YouTube gets flagged and fucking.
Oh no!
If this is our last episode, guys, nice knowing ya. When the fucking ICE agents come to take us for speaking poorly about the government,
you can always cut that.
That's fine. Then what's the point, though?
That's true.
You know,
that's true.
We could be the headline. Lesbians that run a podcast in basement get picked up and detained by ICE for talking about the Purge movie.
Be a great headline. Be fun.
All right. So we see the stockbroker strung up. We come across another semi-truck, bunch of dead soldiers. We get a little jump scare of, like, someone popping out that I at first thought was going to be, like, attacking them, but it ends up being, like, a half-dead soldier asking for help.
Yeah.
So, they get up into the semi-truck, and then we get, like, a little bit of info on this, right? Where they, like, discover that they have, like, TVs that are showing traffic cams, and they see a map showing a bunch of buildings that all have, like, targets on them, and they're like, why are those red? And then one of them is like, well, those are, like, the projects. That's all, like, lower income families. Yeah. So you're, again, starting to get that vibe of lower income, poor, non-white areas being targeted.
Yeah, getting targeted. And then also, like, the dying soldier says, like, something pretty poignant, I think. It was like, we were just doing our duty. And I'm like, what is your duty exactly? Yeah. Like, what is that? What was the oath that you took here that you feel compelled to uphold? Because, like, literally, what are you doing? Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
And then, so we see, the daughter sees that the logo that we have seen on the militia website is spray painted on the wall. So she connects that she thinks the militia group was the one that took out all these soldiers. So as she realizes that, another semi-truck pulls up. So now you're realizing, oh, this is like a fucking network of these people running these ops, if you will.
Yep.
So,
I will say, too, like, kind of we get a little bit, as they're, like, walking down the street and stuff, like, the girl, like, the teenager keeps, like, trying to, like, have conversations with Frank, and I do really like their dynamic.
All of them did, though. So, before we got to the semi-truck, like, the husband was like, why are you out purging?
Oh, yeah.
If Frank saved you on Purge...
Don't be questioning him, dude. Just keep your mouth shut.
I am shutting the fuck up and doing what you tell me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, but he does have a line where he's like, new rules. Yeah. Everybody shut up. Like, stop talking.
But, again, to what you were saying, they're kind of building this rapport because eventually, again, we'll get to it, eventually the daughter and the wife, I think, play a little bit of a role of, like, kind of trying to talk him out of what he's doing.
Which is, like, it's none of your business.
Also that, I would be like...
it's not my business.
I would be like, if you can just, like, get me someplace to make sure you got enough time to, like, handle your business, go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah, so, like, and then also the husband is, like, injured at this point because I think he got hurt when he got snagged by the trap.
Yeah.
And I just do like the line because, okay, so clearly his relationship with his wife is, like, not doing too hot, but they kind of, like, they slowly are, like, brought back together through their trauma bonding.
Yeah, it's because it's Purge night.
Yeah, we love a good trauma bond.
Yeah.
And, he's kind of being, like, injured and pathetic, and she's like, are you going to keep using this as an excuse? Yeah. And he keeps, because he's like, at least for the rest of the night, like, damn. Yeah. And I'm like, no, that's so fair.
Yeah. He tries.
Yeah.
So they are trying to sneak off now. They're hiding in another alley. Frank has peeked around the corner, and we see that there's a large group purging right around the corner. Mm-hmm. Right as they're trying to hide, a rat jumps onto the wife, and of course she screams, which I'm just like, I think I would punch you in the face if you did that if we're out on Purge night. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a rat. I agree.
It's a rat. Like, there are bigger problems than a rat right now.
Like, screams. I think if it was like a muffled, like, ugh, like, I think I wouldn't have been as mad. She screams like a little girl. So obviously.
No, she does. She shrieks.
Yeah. So obviously, one of the Purgers stops, hears it, comes around, and Frank just chokes out one of the biggest dudes. He's like a buff guy, and Frank's like, not tonight, my guy.
Well, Frank's arms are crazy, I will say. Frank Grillo's got some crazy arms that just, it makes sense to me that he could choke out some dude, because, like, man, those are wild.
That's why you need a Frank on your team.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You need a tragic backstory army guy. They're a good archetype.
Yeah.
They're fun.
And then they sneak down into the subway tunnels.
Yes.
And ever since our 28 Days Later episode where you made your comment about the tunnel, I have made note of how present tunnels are in horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was even watching one that was not part of our podcast, and there was a tunnel in that, too, and I was like, God damn, it's like a device now at this point.
Yeah, it is. How often are you ever in tunnels, Lisa?
Yeah, never.
I'm never in a tunnel.
Never.
Like, I'm sorry. That's just why so many tunnels.
I don't know. Because it's easy, because now you're confined and shit's going to go awry. So...
Well, I was watching Us, and there's a bunch of... The whole plot of that movie is all the tunnels under the United States, and I was like... Yeah. Tunnels everywhere.
Everywhere.
Stop.
So they're trying to make their way through the subway tunnels. They come across a homeless encampment, which will come into play soon. He makes the daughter put on a bulletproof vest as they're walking. Mm-hmm. So I
like that.
As Kale smiles.
I like that.
Because again, just to their building rapport, and
I just like their dynamic. I think it's cute. Like he is a good guy, you know?
He's like a grumpy uncle.
Yeah, grumpy uncle.
Like, you can tell he cares, but he's like, can you leave me the fuck alone?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's great.
Yeah, and then we get a bit of a wild sequence of, like, this four-wheeler gang comes barreling down these tunnels with, like, blow torches and machine guns, flamethrowers. Yeah.
Bro, like, I feel crazy.
And it just sucks because, like, they're running and then you see people pouring out of the homeless encampments.
Yeah.
But again, to the whole plot of the Purge, if people want to participate and maybe not feel so bad, they're going to go to homeless encampments and...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was, like, the whole point of the first movie, right? Yeah. Is that this dehumanization of, like, the less fortunate, right? Yeah. And, like, that's the whole... Like, poverty is down in this universe, and, like, crime is down because they're killing off the poor people.
Yeah.
Like, they're literal, like, cannon fodder for rich people to profit off of. Yeah. And, like, that, I think, is just, like, that's why I like this franchise so much, because it goes there, right? It doesn't, like, because there's probably lots of ways where you could have, this could have been written differently in a way that was, like, just violence for the sake of violence. Where it's like, oh my god, what if crime was legal? What's one night a year, right?
Because they could have gone like the hostile route.
Exactly.
Kind of like torture porn shit.
They absolutely could have done that, and that could have like that's I'm sure a script in some fucking fuckboy's Google Drive somewhere, right? But they didn't take it there because they used this idea in the story to say something about like greater society and stuff. And I like it when fiction does that. Like, I mean, I like when horror does that, especially because I think that is what makes the genre good, is when it is trying to say something about our current reality, our current lived experience.
It's literally the whole reason why we're here in the basement talking about horror movies.
Exactly. And I think that's why The Purge is such like a, you know, not a fixation for me, but like a favorite. Yeah, a favorite that I really like, is because it is trying to say something, and I like what it does, because it feels just realistic.
Do you have one of the Purge movies in your Letterboxd top 5?
I don't actually.
Just food for thought.
Yeah, smart, good thinking.
So they're running from this 4-wheeler gang. Mm-hmm. The mom, of course, has to fall. Because someone always has to fall when you're trying to get away.
Yes.
So Frank goes back to literally picks up the mom. Mm-hmm. I found it kind of random that the husband and wife chose to stop and almost be the martyrs to really, we're not going to get away in time, like we need to shoot at them.
Yeah, that did also feel a little random. I think maybe it was kind of like relationship building for them or something, to kind of like further on, because they're like bonding, they survive this together,
because we need to wound him close to mortally
to bring them closer so they can have that little conversation and stuff.
So the husband and wife kind of like hole up on the corner, and of course they both have massive guns via gift from Frank, and they just start shooting at this 4-wheel gang and successfully get them to blow up and no longer be a threat. Happens
when you're carrying around tanks of gas for your flamethrowers. Yep. I think that's an incredibly impractical weapon for the Purge.
I would have to agree. 100%.
Yeah, that would not be my choice.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, no.
And then, so in that process, the husband gets hit in the shoulder. But anyway, that happens. She scoops the husband up. They try to run out. We get the update. We're now 4.5 hours left in the Purge.
Yeah, they've been struggling.
Also, can I just say the concept of being up all night? 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.? Oh my god, okay. If I'm going to stay up all night, or if I'm going to have this type of experience and be out all night fighting for my life, I need the day before the Purge off, all of the Purge off, and I'm going to need the day after off, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What happens if you got to work at 8 a.m. the day after the Purge? That is fucking ridiculous.
How are you going to get to work? Because, again, Purge traffic, post-Purge, like, you got all the emergency vehicles. There's cars on fire.
Oh,
like, how are the buses probably aren't even running yet. So
that's very true.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
So much to think about. So many logistics in this universe.
It's so fun.
So yeah, 4.5 hours left. Yeah.
You're still not at the apartment. It's been like 3 hours at this point.
It was a
couple blocks away, bro.
Yeah, but it has been a task though. So they're just sprinting through empty streets at this point, which like I kind of like these shots because it's between this like utter chaos and like creepy empty streets. Like I think of like downtown Chicago. Yeah. Like going to Chicago and seeing an empty street, like that would be super creepy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, it's like it gives that one of my favorite things, like the liminal space vibe, where it's like streets that or spaces where you are used to seeing a lot of people and you're used to seeing a lot of things happening that are completely empty. Like there's something so like so eerie, like profoundly eerie about that I just think is really fun.
Yeah, I would agree.
My favorite.
But they have finally arrived though, because they're sprinting through this open street. We hear the buzz of the traffic camera, and then we hear a radio that says, "We have a target match for civilians who attack the truck."
Uh-oh.
So you know they're being monitored. You know they're being tracked through the traffic cams.
And they did discover that too when they came across the the truck that Carmela's group like took apart. They're like, oh, they have access to like the street cameras. Like the only people that have access to that is the government.
Yeah.
So kind of like laying it up that way, where it's like, who are these people? What are they doing? What is their purpose and who's paying them?
Yeah. So the friend lets them in the back door. And then we just cut to the apartment. They're getting all bandaged up. Frank is helping the husband. This is where we get kind of the bonding moment to where he's trying to play at being injured, and the wife makes the comment about, like, you're just going to keep doing that. And he's like, can I at least have it for tonight?
Yeah.
So again,
I think it's funny. I would be like that too. I'm like, bro, I got shot. Like,
again, trying to like, well, and just like the concept of like, I don't know. I think she kind of tries to say it as a joke because she's like, I think we need to tell your sister. But I'm like, not really a funny joke.
No, I know. I'm like, God. She's like, yeah, okay, you can have that. And she's like, but we still need to tell your sister that we're getting separated. I'm like, damn.
Like,
girl.
drop it, dude.
Yeah.
I could be dead by the end of the night.
Actually.
I am going to be dead by the end of the night.
Yeah.
So, they're getting all bandaged up. The friend is clearly trying to drink her way through the purge, which, like,
Fair.
can't blame you, I don't
Yeah.
think. And they're, like, kind of having, like, a family discussion, and her sister is there, and I think the mom makes the comment about being, like, anti-purge or something, and the drunk friend's like, well, I could think of a few reasons to purge, so again, I think we're planting a seed of, like, something could go awry here in this apartment.
Could go wrong. Yeah, and there's like a old grandpa man who's like, what's mine is yours, because like Frank is covered in blood.
Yes.
And he's like, can I have a shirt?
Yeah.
And then he's like, what's mine is yours, and he's like being very like okay, maybe they'll be safe, but then the waitress friend is like being a little bit crazy, and there's also like this like skinny white guy who's like sitting there, who's the husband of her sister.
Yeah.
And he's wearing like a camo jacket, and then the sister, so the dude's wife, is like making fun of him, like he would have been a laughing stock if you had gone out tonight, right? And she's just like kind of being a bitch.
Yeah.
And then the waitress lady is like blatantly flirting with the husband, like right in front of her sister.
Yeah.
So there is definitely some weird dynamics here, and a lot of wine. So it's just like.
And there's this moment where she goes to the bathroom. Frank is changing his shirt and sees her take pills with her wine. And poor Frank is basically just in this apartment and is like, I need the car. Yeah. I need the car. You need to get me the keys. So, like, the family's watching the news reports of the purge, and Frank is basically like, hey, so your friend is taking pills with wine, like, can you get me the car keys? Like, I need to get out of here. Yeah. So, and she's like, there is no car.
There is no car. We lied.
Yeah.
And Frank is pissed.
Yeah, because there's this tense moment where he's like, I needed the car for my son. Which at this point we don't explicitly know what happened to his son, but you're
putting the pieces together.
If you have any bit of media literacy, you're putting two and two together that something has happened to the son that he is trying to go out to avenge.
Yes.
So.
And this is where I put the comment. I'm like, hey, Frank Grillo, there's always next year. Like,
true.
You can just, if it's not working, like, what's your timeline?
Give it up.
Here?
Yeah.
Just, might be a wash tonight.
Yeah.
There is 364 more days. Plan a little better. Maybe get there sooner, right? Because like he's driving across town to get to this location, right? And it's like, well, maybe go park at like a Walmart close by, and then go home. That way you don't have to like go through downtown. Yeah. Maybe just plan it a little better next year, Frank. Just saying. I thought you were like a military man. Like your emotions are too heavy right now.
Yeah. It's just boy brain,
Boy brain.
So again, I think to like the complexity of the purge, right? Where like we've been setting up this, you have to be indoors during the purge, but then you think about like there are a lot of family dynamics where some families might take the purge as an opportunity to murder each other because they are upset about something. So the daughter is trying to talk Frank out of leaving.
Yes, because it's her business.
While that is happening, the sister walks into the room and just unloads a clip into the waitress friend. Yes. So you now are for sure sister was sleeping with the sister's boyfriend, fiance, whatever. Husband, whatever.
Some situation.
And then I thought this was kind of badass from Frank, because Frank's our man. So husband grabs the... Really wish we had names. At this point, we have not really learned names, I don't think, or neither one of us at least made it out.
Yeah, I did not. I'm usually so good with names of characters, but I just...
You are the savior on this podcast, and since you didn't show up with names, we definitely don't have names today. So, the husband that is in camo grabs the white wife, we'll say, and takes her as a hostage, basically, to go, you're not going to shoot me. Well, he has her up against the wall, and Frank... The daughter and the wife are now against the wall, and he looks behind the TV stand and shoots him twice in the leg. Mm-hmm. So basically, while that's going on, Frank's being Frank, and he's like, door, 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 and he's like gone military and is laying down fire to get the whole group out.
Yes.
So mom, daughter make it out, husband, wife make it out, and now they're... fucked, and they're in their stairwell, and they're like, well, now what the fuck are we gonna do?
Yeah, because we also learned that that they've been spotted, so the military, the weird, not the
semi-truck. I just call it the semi-truck group.
Yeah, the semi-truck group is on their way. And they still don't have a car, and I think everybody made it out of there uninjured, though, which is good at least. Yes. They just have the injuries that they arrived there with.
Correct. Yeah. So, Frank checks outside, does a little peeky peek before he takes everyone with him, and we see Big Daddy in the back of the semi-truck. To our point in, like, other movies where it's like, they tried to be bros, but it's like, you went with Big Daddy! So he sees him in the back of the semi-truck, and he's giving this, like, pep talk to the soldiers, basically saying, we need to find him and kill him, but he wants the 2 women alive, basically, because he still wants his purge.
Yes.
So, it feels very simple, the way that Frank just guides everyone, despite the semi-truck being, like, right there. He just calmly guides everybody out, puts them over a fence, and he, like, hides out for a minute, because there are 3 soldiers sawing open the back door.
Yes.
And then he makes his way over the fence to be knocked out, and then we find out that the gang was waiting on the other side of the fence, and...
The gang found them.
Kidnapped everyone and has everybody in the back of the ice cream truck.
Yes.
So...
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Because you're almost there. You're
so close.
There's
like 3 hours left.
Yeah, because we're
in the wee hours of the morning.
We were at 4.5 hours, so you gotta think you're at 3 or less at this point. Yeah. But yeah, so.
Yeah, so they're in. There's like a pretty. Oh well, one of the purgers who's been following them and stuff is like been wearing a mask this whole time. Takes it off. And it's Lakeith Stanfield, who I love. And I did not realize he was even in this movie. And I'm so sad that he was given such a small part, because he's a great actor.
Again, I just wonder if as we rewatch all of these, we're in every movie, if each one of... Because it's like, in the first movie, we each had our actors and actresses where we were like, what the fuck? And I felt the same way in this one. When he unmasked, I was like... You play that kid? How did I forget that?
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, oh, they wasted him. They wasted his credit. He could have been really cool.
So, I think it's the daughter that kind of questions, like, why are you out killing everyone? And he's like, oh, honey, we're not killing anybody. We're here for money. So you're thinking, money? How are you getting money? Well... They are basically acting as a roundup crew for rich white folk. And they pull up and open the back doors of the ice cream truck and basically pass the whole group off to a group of suited white men that gives him a massive wad of cash.
Yeah. Yep. So, which again is like kind of it's playing on this because I put in my comments earlier when I was like what is I couldn't remember the exact purpose of this gang, right? Besides it like possibly just being a gang of young brown men running around, but I was like, I think that this franchise is better than that.
Yeah.
To just have like random dudes running around just causing violence and being sadists.
Yeah.
And it was because it is like, they're doing this for money. We don't know what their lives are like. Like it sucks that they're selling people out. They're hunting people and selling them out, but there's probably a reason for it, right?
In the Purge universe, how do you think people land that contract? How do you find the listing to work for these people?
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there's like a Purge Craigslist. Like, you know, you can just go on Craigslist and be like, hey, I need you to, because it's legal. Yeah. Because no one's going to stop you. Yeah. Right? Is it legal to make pre-contracts before the Purge? Like, what is the Purge law here? You know? Yeah, like, what is the legalities here?
Because I think in our world, they could definitely get you on some form of, like, premeditation. Because you don't always have to go through with it to be found guilty. If you premeditated killing someone. So that is a very good question as far as, does the law allow for purge planning?
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're making contracts and stuff outside of the purge time. But I would think that in the way that, I guess it just depends on... Yeah, it depends on how stringent they are about the law, if they even care enough to get into the complexities of that, or if they're just like, well, it's Purge, so do whatever, I guess. Because, like, and that's the thing, that's why I think the concept of the forever Purge is interesting. Yeah. I think I need to watch the film again in order to figure out how I feel about the actual execution of it. Yeah. But it's like, how do you get it to stop after 12 hours? Yeah. Like, how do you, and then especially when you're going into like the legality complexities and stuff of all of that, like how do you just make it stop?
Well, I mean, the ending of this movie is the perfect example.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, like, how does somebody not pull the trigger in that moment? Yeah. But, okay. But I guess it's also, like, we're building on this premise of, like, it's an honorable participation, so it's, like, it's just accepted. But I think if you look at society, like, that's just not how people work.
No, it's not how people work.
So, and then again, it's like, to your question, like, if I'm in a situation where someone executes someone that I witness after the sirens have gone off, how do you prosecute that?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way.
There's no way. And then at that point, like, even just, like, the process of, like, reporting that, I think, would be a nightmare because there's probably so many situations that, like, are like that. So you know that, the police are overrun with stuff that have happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
So.
Anyway,
we're back with the rich white people who have purchased people to murder.
Yeah. Again, for the second time in one movie.
This is a theme. This was giving Hostile vibes to me.
Oh, yeah.
In the presentation, because it's very similar, because they're put down in line with people that are already there. Mm-hmm. So there's, like, other people there, too. And this... like a gala. It makes my belly hurt just thinking about it. This, like, window in front of them opens, and it is simply a gala of sorts. People are dressed to the nines. There are tables that have clearly been purchased, and another kooky Karen white woman gets up on stage and has a microphone and explains this is the last purge of the evening, so the entry price is $200,000. And we quickly get 3 bids from people to join in.
Like, immediately.
Yeah.
And, it's so, I don't know. I think that this has been a trend, too, in the last, like, probably, like, 10 years or so, of just, like, rich people horror. Because, like, you have stuff like...
How problematic rich white people are.
Yeah, like, what was that movie?
Oh my gosh,
maybe Hunted?
The Hunt. I have it right there.
Yes. I love that one. Yeah. And then, like, Ready or Not.
Yeah.
and probably a bunch of others that I can't think of right now.
I've never thought of the fact that
Blink
really
Twice, I think, was a really big one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of just like within the last, I would say probably 10 or 12 years, like we've
totally
had like a whole subgenre of like, yeah, here's some fucked up shit that rich people do, which I think is a great genre. I love it.
Yeah, because it's like in a different universe, what would white people do? Or like
maybe in this one.
Yeah, it also bears the question of like, are there underground rings going on and we have no idea about until you're sold into one and are kneeling before. If I ever, oh my god.
Sorry, send you down that rabbit hole.
I swear if that was the way I went out, if I ever came to and I was just like, fuck. I think I would rather this premise than Hostel, because you don't have much of a way out of Hostel.
Yeah.
Because that one's very one-on-one and tied down sort of situation. This one's at least a hunt. If you have a certain set of skills, good fucking luck.
There's some sportsmanship to it. They're unarmed, though, but, like, you know, at least they can run around.
Yeah, well, they're unarmed until Frank gets involved.
Right. Well, they did not expect Frank. They clearly did not do their research on Frank.
Well, that's the thing. I'm just like, if I'm looking at Frank, I'd be like, no.
Yeah, like, not that one.
No. That one, let him out onto the streets. Like,
let him go.
Get a better door guy.
Toss him back.
Is all I'm saying. Anyway, okay. So, they all get, like, forced down a hallway and kind of siphoned, and then they're just, like, dropped into the dark. And then I did have a little bit of, like, a qualm with this to the cinematography of it, because we're in the dark, and then you're getting these wide shots that paint the picture of what this is, though. So you're in the dark when you're with the group, but then we're zooming out and we're seeing, like, it's kind of like a fake city, because there's, like, bushes
it gave
and
kind of like
a fountain.
It gave me like courtyard vibes, you know, like a fancy person's like courtyard.
Exactly. I think I would have liked it shot a little grittier. Where like you just stay with Frank and it's kind of hard to see and you're just seeing shadows and maybe just a little bit until he beats the shit out of someone and gets the night vision goggles. Like, I didn't want to see as much as I did. Is that weird?
No,
like, I wanted it to be a little bit more disorienting. Like, you feel like you're part of that group.
Because we got that in the first movie, right? With all the flashlight shots and stuff. And, like, the close quarters. And I
think that's what I thought of.
Yeah, like, being thrown directly into that chaos with the character as the audience member, I think, yeah. I can see that. I think that's a very fair qualm.
Yeah. Yeah, and just Frank does what Frank does. He basically sets everybody down and goes, I'm going to go get us some night vision goggles, I'm going to go get us some guns, and I'll be right back. And he sets off. He literally finds the first guy, snaps his neck. Before he could grab the goggles, he clocks another person with a gun, so he disappears into the night. And then pops back out and manages to kill the other guy with the gun, so now he's got guns and 2 night vision goggles.
I do need to point out that the people who are waltzing in to this little courtyard to do their hunting are wearing jodhpurs. Oh, they're rolling in wearing literally like, you know, like the fox hunter garb from like old English fucks, you know? That's what they're wearing. Yeah. They're wearing jodhpurs. Yeah. And that is, I'm like, and that's... I
There's
love it.
There's just a
because
class of humans that we would never interact with.
It's so ridiculous. It's like, it reminds me of the ridiculousness of like the group from the first movie with their little Manson wear and their stupid masks and everything. And it's like, they're so into this. It's so like, it's almost silly. Yeah. You know? And I like, because like, there's a certain realism to like, the main characters, right? Yeah. Like, we get, like, kind of this complexity of their backstories. Yeah. And their motivation.
They all feel like people. We either are or we know.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you get these people, and they're so silly. really, they're ridiculous. Yeah. And it's just this,
it's like caricatures. They're caricatures.
Yeah, and it's just the ridiculousness of this whole premise and this ridiculousness of these people who believe in this, I think is great. But yeah, they're wearing fucking jodhpurs, and I screamed. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You're wearing a little flat-brimmed cap? Like, get out of here. Who are you?
They're rich people, because they're fucking ridiculous. But basically, so he kills the two men. We get a comment about, like, two women who were twins did a bid. So then he has to kill the two twins, who are armed with, like, machetes, I'm pretty sure, again. So there's always a machete in play. Again, I wouldn't choose a machete.
That's, okay, back to, I mentioned this podcaster in the last episode, but Robert Evans knows a lot about machetes, and he's like, yeah, you don't use a machete to kill people.
Yeah.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
It's a tool. It's not a weapon.
No way.
And yeah, so
ridiculous. I did buy my mother-in-law a machete for preparations for the zombie apocalypse.
Oh,
it was a gag gift for Christmas. I think she enjoyed it.
That's funny.
I love that Frank takes a minute to shoot at the window that they're all viewing this through.
Yes.
That's a good fucking touch.
It is a very excellent touch.
So, now if you're doing a head count, for the rich people, there are 3 left. Mm-hmm. He kills one more man, and then we see the last 2 that are basically like, no, and just sprint out a door.
Yeah. They weren't expecting that. They were expecting to hunt down unarmed people.
They weren't expecting a Frank.
They weren't expecting a Frank.
Yeah. So then we see Kooky Karen, the white woman, basically making a phone call that says 5 people have been killed, and we need help. We need help. We need to send in backup or whatever. And then, like, the doors swing open, and it looks like every servant that was working. So, like, I got the vibe of, like, wait staff. The guys in suits outside that got them all come in with guns.
Uh-huh.
Ridiculous.
Yes. And that's their backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
wait staff.
I was like, you couldn't pay me enough.
No way.
So, now it is our core group versus all of these people. Mm-hmm. So now you're thinking, okay, Frank, now what? Mm-hmm. And we kind of get a moment where, like, they all kind of just start to make amends. Like, the mom holds the daughter and kind of says, I love you. Mm-hmm. And then, like, the couple are trying to make amends and, like, say, I'm sorry and whatever. And like, the timing of this, like, as the husband is trying to, like, apologize and whatever, a guy, like, pops out of the door behind them and just blows him to smithereens, basically. Just lights him up with a machine gun in his chest.
Oh, yeah.
To which Frank quickly turns around, of course, and tries to shoot him, but damage is done. Homeboy's fucking...
He's done for.
Gone. And then at this point, which I thought this was interesting, an alarm starts going off, and they make... The siren says something about... whatever class of weapons are not permitted.
Oh, yeah.
As if they used a weapon in there that was not permitted.
Yeah, which was interesting because there is a class system that they mentioned in the emergency broadcast.
Yes.
Which is like, okay, I need to see like a breakdown. Give me a spreadsheet.
I need a map of what can and can't be used. Yeah.
I'm in it for the lore.
Yeah, so then, I wonder if the militia used something. Because as that alarm goes off, the doors swing open and they're like, we're here to help, don't shoot.
Yeah.
And the militia has arrived.
Yep.
And this is when my brain exploded because I don't remember ever clocking the fact that one of the first guys to the group is the bleeding stranger from the first movie. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever fucking connected that, which I'm kind of ashamed of, and then I looked it up and I found it hilarious that in the first movie, he is credited as Bleeding Stranger, and in the second movie, he's just credited as Stranger.
Oh, really?
Yes. From what I was reading.
I think he gets a name in the third one.
Oh, I hope so. He deserves one.
He does deserve a name. But yeah, so like Bleeding Stranger in the house in the first one is here, has joined the rebel militia, which is excellent. I love that arc for him. Yeah. I think it's so good. So they go with them.
Yeah, so the daughter lets the leader know, like, oh, I follow your videos, like, what up, and whatever, and he's like, well, hello. Like, it's like something kind of weird like that, and I was like, well, that's an interaction. The wife says, I want to participate in the Purge. So now the wife stays with the militia that are fighting the problematic white people.
Yes.
And then part of the militia, I think, help Frank and the wife and daughter at least get out.
Yes.
So, yeah, and then basically at that point, once they get out, we get a little bit of a shot of the militia and the armed servants duking it out. Again, kind of like that wide shot where I'm like, I think you could have shot this cooler, or like, again, even there, you could have made it this choppy militia.
One side, other side kind of thing. Yeah, for sure.
So, and then I thought it was perfect. As they come out, Kooky Karen is trying to escape in her car, to which Frank stops the car and is like, get the fuck out. And instead of killing her, is basically like, remember my face, and then says, run. And it's just this little old white woman shuffling away. And again, it's like, I think you could... I think it plays on the trope of upper class being afraid of lower class.
Yeah.
And I think on Purge night, you can find yourself in moments where the lower class can be in a little bit of power, and you have a choice to kill them and mitigate that fear and that propaganda throughout the year of the lower class being dangerous, or you can really put a level of paranoia into them to go, just remember my face.
Yeah, it is good.
Because, I mean, come next year, I'm like, is that Frank guy going to come for me?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. They deserve to be a little bit paranoid, you know?
Yes. So, we get a pop-up. We've got 47 minutes left in the Purge.
Sun is coming up.
It's Frank's time to shine.
Yeah.
So
he's got time. He's got enough time.
Yep.
Hopefully.
So then we get cut to mother-daughter Frank are parked outside of a house. And this is where we get the story of, like, his kid was trying to cross the street or something, got hit. The blood alcohol level of the guy was just absolutely
like
through the
3 times
roof.
the legal limit or something like that.
And then he got off on a technicality.
Yeah, I think he got off because it happened on Purge night. There was something that happened that, like, he just got off, and it wasn't fair.
Yep. So he explains he went to the house 2 weeks earlier and disarmed the barricade in the back. So he's been planning. Yeah, he tells him to stay in the car, and of course we have more of that moment of them being like, you don't need to do this, like, it's not going to make you feel better.
Let the man have his revenge, you know.
This motherfucker has saved you all night to shut the fuck up and sit in the car for 47 minutes.
Yeah,
Jesus. Exactly. So we see him sneak in the back door. He grabs a knife in the kitchen, and why?
I guess he did lose all of his weapons because he's just had
in
a rough
his car.
time.
True.
Yeah.
So we get a notification on the TV that there's 5 minutes left in the Purge. So he finds a couple sleeping. He basically just punches the shit out of the husband, drags him out of bed, and he
kind of crashes out a little bit.
To be honest, though, this is really Frank's catharsis, where he gets a moment with this man to go, do you know who I am? Do you even remember what my son looks like? Like, you did this, you ruined my life, sort of interaction.
Yeah, and he absolutely, because he's been, like, pretty much, very stoic, cool as a cucumber, like this whole night.
No
through
emotion.
This whole thing. No emotion, maybe just frustration, really, right? And then, like, but he's, like, went into this night with, like, a mission.
Yeah.
And that was jeopardized all night. And now, like you said, like, catharsis, I think, is a really good word for it. Because it's like he finally has this. And he also has probably in the back of his mind, because he's been told all night that he doesn't have to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he's, like, really, I think it's a really, like, it's kind of powerful, actually. It's, like, a very, like, he's just, like, kind of at war with himself right now.
Yes, yeah. Well, and again, I think it does play to, like, this bullshit propaganda of, like, you're purging what's naturally inside of you. And I think we're being handed characters that are showing, like, no, acting like this is not natural and goes against your basic instincts.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, then we get a cut shot and the front barricade of the house comes up. And Frank walks out. Mm-hmm. So I think one would assume that you've done the deed.
Yeah.
He's murdered inside.
Mm-hmm.
He's murdered. Also known as dead, I suppose. Semantics. And he's like, we're getting this shot of Frank, and he, like, kind of closes his eyes and, like, puts his head back. So you're thinking, like, okay, he's been cleansed and whatever. He had his moment. Mm-hmm. Gets shot twice in the belly. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, what the fuck?
Big Daddy's back, baby!
Fucking Big Daddy followed him in his new car. And again, just this, like, web of the purge, because Daddy's like, well, we ran the plates on your car to find out who you were, and it was clear in what we found where you were going to come tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
like,
it's like they have a lot of, like, pull, right? Because, like, it is implied that these people are, like, have resources from the government.
Well, but also, though, like, I took it as also human nature. So, like, you see that story about the drunk driver and him getting off, and he was out on the street. You're like, oh, well, that's clearly where he's going.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, so as we get that, he says something that I kind of found interesting. He says, and this is probably paraphrased a little bit, but he's like, it's a purge rule. You don't save lives, you take lives. Unfortunately, the people aren't participating enough, so the NFFA has to balance it.
Yeah, so the government literally is sending death squads out onto the streets to kill people.
Yeah, and as he says that, he pulls a gun on Frank, and as he does that, Daddy gets shot in the head. Mm-hmm. And that's when we see the man that Frank came to murder, he did not murder, and he came out of the house to kill him to save Frank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he saved, he, like, spared him, and his life was then also saved, which is, like, I think, I love that ending, actually.
Well, but it's also, like, it kind of matches our arc from the first one, right? Because they didn't kill the bleeding stranger who really ended up saving them anyway.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually.
Story structure, man. All these motherfuckers just cut, copy, paste.
Yeah.
When you're looking at a franchise, they fucking, it's regimented, man. It is very similar.
That's true. I mean, and that's part of genre too, right? Yeah. It's like the predictable patterns and stuff, but I actually, like, didn't, like, those arcs did not connect until you just said that just now. And I was like, so there is, like, a kind of explicit, like, grander message that they're kind of driving home here, that it's like, you don't have to do this.
And then we end with this little bit of a standoff, because the wife and the daughter see him get shot. They run out of the car. They're there with guns. The soldiers that work for Big Daddy are coming towards the house. So you've got, and again, in threes, timelines, you've got mother and daughter, soldiers, and then the guy from inside the house all have guns pointed at each other right for the purge sirens to go off.
Yep.
So, the mom starts screaming, like, do you have a car? Do you have a car? Like, he needs to...
Because Frank is shot and bleeding.
Yeah, like, he needs help or he's not gonna make it. And then the man that he spared drives them to the ER, and then that's where it ends. Them walking into the ER.
Yep. There we go.
I liked it.
I liked it too.
I think I agree with you. I think this franchise really picks up momentum for me.
Yes.
Each movie gets better and better and better.
Yes, I agree totally. Like this one, I like this one. It is, again, it's not my favorite. I think Election Year is my favorite.
Yeah.
I think that is. But again, I only watched the first Purge once. So I don't know.
I am not gonna make a statement about which one my favorite is until we get through all 5, because I need to rewatch.
That's fair.
Because right now,
I just know that I've seen Election Year so many times. Yeah. So that's probably that's probably
That's why I asked if they were in your Letterboxd top 5, because I would imagine you would put Election Year in your top 5.
Yeah, I really didn't.
But then you have to make a decision on what it's going to replace.
I know. Well, I might actually only have 4 on my top 5.
Oh, well then you're in good shape.
So
that would be perfect. Because I want to say First Purge is my favorite.
Okay, yeah. I think probably, because again, we're recording this in July.
Yeah.
And we have 3 more to do after this episode. I might watch it tonight, maybe. You know,
like, why not? Giggles. I love that for you.
I might skip Election Year and just go right to the first Purge, like just for funsies.
Why not?
But yeah, that's 2. We got 2 in the bag.
I love
Go
it.
us. I like the franchise structure. It's kind of fun, you know.
Yeah, it's a vibe because it's just a different aspect, right? To just talk through stuff, because I think franchises are my favorite because you either get 2 scenarios. You have enough movies to really create your universe, or you get this discussion, which I think we touched a little bit on with 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, and we will also get to it with Fear Street, is you can also have franchises where they have different writers and or directors, and some fucked it up and some did a great job.
Yeah, which is also really fun because we love the compare and contrast, and we love to be haters.
Oh, yeah. Fucking wait till we get to Fear Street Prom Queen. I didn't think about that, though. Because we obviously chose Purge because it's Kale's bread and butter, and I enjoy it, and I think it fits the fucking time right now.
Yeah.
Because why not daydream about mass violence for one night a year? I didn't think about the fact that it is more cohesive than the other 2 franchises because it's the same writer, which I didn't discover until we started doing this.
Yeah, I didn't either. So. I thought for sure it was like different things, because I think what it is, what's especially interesting is the tone and the vibe from the first one to Purge Anarchy, I think are so different.
Yeah.
Like it is just like a very like a hard like marketing and tonal shift.
Yeah.
That I think it's cool that it's like the same. He's like, okay, I did this thing, I want to do all this other thing in the same universe thing, because I love it. I think it's really, I like the thought and development that was like put into the specific universe that he has built.
Yeah.
I think that's, and again, it is like pretty cohesive. Because I think even when you get someone who's writing through the same world, right? Sometimes there's like plot holes and stuff where it's just like, well, wait a
how
minute.
Did you miss that?
Like, how did you think about that? You just get really excited about this other aspect, which is fair. I can understand that, but yeah, I don't know. Love the Purge. I'm glad we're talking about it.
Yeah. Anything you want to rant about this week? Anything exciting you want to share with the audience of 12 people on YouTube? Just kidding. We've grown our followers. Who knows how many of you guys are listening?
I know. I don't know. I don't really have anything bubbling around in my brain right now. It's kind of head empty, no thoughts vibes these days.
I have things I want to talk about.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I finally watched Bring Her Back.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
So this is the second movie created by I'll call them boys because they're like brothers, and they they give boy vibes, but they're very good filmmakers. I just say that jokingly. Anyway, they made Talk to Me, and then they made Bring Her Back. Those 2 are not related, but anyway. Oh my god, it's so good. And I know I made a video crashing out over the fact that I missed seeing it in theaters, but I think the universe knew that I needed to watch it in the comfort of my basement so I could yell and shout and freak the fuck out, because it is a level of fucked up that I know you've talked about it, like maybe your feelings of watching Hereditary the first time, like it
really?
it scratched that. Like, mouth open, yelling what the fuck at least 3 to 4 times.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, I need.
And the best part is, like, I'm not big on demonic possessions. I think just because, like, most of them revolve around the Catholic Church, which I'm like, don't need that. Don't need to consume that. And I think now when people are like, if I get that question of, like, what's your favorite demonic possession movie, Bring Her Back. Hands down.
Wow.
It's like this meld of, like, a little bit of found footage trying to figure out what one of the characters is doing with the summoning and how the demon works, and it's so, like, you get a little bit of found footage and then you're very much in the present, and it all has to do with kids, so you get some fucked up kids, but then it's
okay,
good.
I need to.
It's very good. I purchased it. By the time you guys are listening to this, it's definitely going to be on streaming somewhere. I'll buy the physical media.
Oh, I was gonna ask. I'm like, do you have a physical copy that maybe I can borrow?
No, not yet. We'll get there. Okay. Oh, so good. And I'm like kind of obsessed with these brothers because, like,
they just kind of came out of nowhere.
So they actually didn't.
Oh.
Because they apparently had a massive following on YouTube.
Oh.
Which I'm not big on YouTubers. Like, I
I am not either. I have, like, some, like, breadtubers that I watch. Yeah. And, like, that's kind of it.
Like, I don't know what their YouTube was. I don't even know if their YouTube was horror-based. It was more just, like, filmmaking. But they give the vibe of, like, 2 Australian brothers that just started making YouTubes. And then I don't even know how they landed Talk to Me, but, like, to me, Talk to Me is one of my all-time favorites.
It's a good one.
And this is the same one, and, like, again, it's, like, their style. They have this vibe of, like, showing you, like, the most fucked up thing ever, and then they go into, like, bro mode, and there's, like, a scene with, like, really awesome music, like, pumping you up, and then it's like, oh, wait, no, now we're gonna show you this fucked up thing again.
Interesting. Okay.
So would highly recommend. That was, like, probably the highlight of my month. I watched that yesterday, actually.
Oh, wow.
When we had a rot day. It was raining outside, and then I don't know how I realized it was finally available, but I checked Apple TV and it was available for purchase, and I said, don't fucking tempt me with a good time.
Yeah, it's on Fandango too. I might have to buy it.
I was so ready. I finished the laundry I had to do because it had to be hung up when it was done.
Yes.
I fed the dogs early so they wouldn't come downstairs asking for food, and I shut the basement door so they would leave me alone.
Nice.
Because I said no animals, no disturbances, and my phone, I literally put it on do not disturb.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
You
were locked in.
Locked in, ready. Shut the windows in the basement. I was just snug as a bug in a rug, so happy.
That's a vibe. I might have to do that when I go home.
And it is just a recommendation. If you are streaming something, you can do that. You can treat it like a movie theater and not scroll your fucking phone and miss half of the movie.
And you should. And that's what I was doing yesterday because I binged a lot of movies. Anti-recommendation is don't turn off the lights. So stupid. Hated all of the characters. The premise didn't even make sense. It was terrible.
I do love that you have full faith in streaming platforms giving you a recommendation, because, like, I'll Google something before I click in.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like, when you sent it to me, it's got, like, a rating of, like, 36%.
I don't. I just go in. I love going in blind to things.
I was like, because, like, KL.
I mean, even if I end up really liking something, which I have gotten from just randomly clicking on shit on Hulu or something.
True.
Or if I hate it, either way, I'm going to have a good time because I love being a hater. Yeah. So it's
fair.
fun. But no, I was watching it, and again, my roommate was, like, lingering in the living room, and it was one of those situations where she was like, I have to leave. Like, I cannot watch this with you. I hate all of these people so much. I'm going to go look up the synopsis, and
that'll be enough for me.
And that'll be enough.
I love
so
it for Sarah.
funny. Yeah. But yeah, but I watched a bunch of Jordan Peele. I watched a bunch of other stuff too, but literally I think it just melted out of my brain. But I was locked in watching Us because I've seen Us before. I think it's one of the Jordan Peele films that I've watched like the fewest times. Nope is first, I think. I think it's Nope, Get Out, and then Us. But yeah, I just had a great time like watching it again. And I was like, this is just what we're doing today.
Yeah,
you know,
we're having ourselves a day.
Yeah, you gotta have a day sometimes.
Yes. All right, well, that was round 2 of the Purge. I'm excited that we get 3 more.
I know,
it's
me
exciting.
Too. I'm really excited, actually. I can't wait to talk about election year.
Yes.
And really kind of take some time to refamiliarize myself with the first Purge. Yep. And then give Forever Purge another chance.
A second round. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, and then go from there.
Feel free to get in the comments and argue about which one's your favorite and why. Yeah. I would love to hear what people think.
And what would your Purge plans be?
Oh yeah. Are you participating? How are you handling the Purge? Yeah, we could have some fun with this one. Let us know, you guys.
Yes.
All right, well, we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Girls, watch out for those weirdos.
We are the weirdos, mister.